You know what we should do for a show?
What?
We should go through and we should talk about albums, the albums that we have, and listen to them. That's what we should do for a show. What do you think? We can call it Reviews from the Basement.
Yes, and welcome to episode 12 of Reviews from the Crawl Space.
It's been a while, and let's just get going because the intro stuff really I could care less about anymore. Just want to get into the meat of it.
He's Doug and I'm Vicky.
No, don't even worry about our names. Not important. Names are not important here. Just the music.
Okay, we got 3 doozies for you this week.
All right, Vicky, lay it down.
Gary Lewis and the Playboys. You Don't Have to Paint Me a Picture. The Little River Band. Under the Wire.
Under the Wire, okay.
And Gary Wright, The Light of Smiles. Gary Lewis and the Playboys were an American 60s era pop and rock band fronted by musician Gary Lewis, the son of comedian Jerry Lewis. The band had a very boy next door image. They folded in 1970, but a version of the band later resumed touring and continues to tour today. This album, You Don't Have to Paint Me a Picture, is the 6th album and was recorded in 1966. And one interesting footnote that I saw that I thought was quite interesting is they were discovered playing at Disneyland.
Oh.
Now, I've been to Disneyland and I have seen bands play there. They put them up on this big stage and have little dancers and, people gather around. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Do the song list before as we get into this whole thing. You got the list there.
Okay, the song list. My Heart Symphony, Barefootin', Down on the Sloop, John B., Tina, I Held You in My Arms, String Along, You Don't Have to Paint Me a Picture. Side B is Where Will the Words Come From? You're 16, When Summer Is Gone, Linda Lou, Looking for the Stars, and Wild Thing. So a few of those titles were probably very familiar because there was quite a few covers on here.
There was some, yeah.
Barefootin', Down on the Sloop, John B., You're 16, Wild Thing.
I think everybody had a cover of that.
Yeah, those are all covers on this album.
And actually, before we get into it a little more, I just want to mention again, too, that, we had somebody mention that they would like to hear some snippets of the songs. And I would love to. We've talked about it and done the research, but we're both a little concerned that we would be, our videos would just be blocked out. I've had it happen in the past with just regular stuff that I was working on that didn't have, that we weren't, it was just home videos I was making and they've been blocked before, so.
Copyright infringement.
That's right.
Copyright infringement.
So that's why we haven't bothered with it, just because we don't want to get into doing an episode and then have to either redo it or just ignore it because we put music snippets in it. So that's kind of why we've avoided that. So back to Gary.
We would like to,
Gary
but
Lewis,
meh, too much trouble.
Yes, it's just not worth it. What my suggestion would be is if you're really curious about these albums and you're one of the 7 people who actually watch the show, just go to Spotify or YouTube, while you're watching it, just click on it and listen to a little bit, even if it's just a part of one song, so you have an idea of what we're talking about, because, anyways, back to the roll here. So we were talking about the songs.
Yeah.
Well, some of the stuff that I have is that I'm going to talk about some of the positive of the songs, because usually we talk about the songs and then break them down as we're going instead of doing the 2 separate things.
Right.
But with this, I didn't. Obviously, Wild Thing is a good song, but everybody's got it. Everybody's got that cover. So to me, it's kind of a throwaway one. But some of the good things is it's totally non-offensive pop rock, malt shop kind of shit.
Yeah, it's typical 60s pop.
Yeah, totally.
Quick,
Totally.
quirky,
That was
short songs.
That was my next thing. Is a short
about love and stuff.
It's about mostly. But for me, I liked that it was short.
Yeah.
And like you said, short and quick and.
Because it doesn't list on the back of the album.
No, it doesn't. No.
I was just curious as to what the longest song was on there.
So, like I said, it's a combination of familiar songs and I guess originals. They all sound the same to me. So, what would you like to add to that?
Just that, their songs are typical 60s, very innocent.
Yep.
Short, sweet. Wild Thing was written by the Trogs.
Trogs, yeah, it's definitely a classic.
You're 16 was written by the Sherman Brothers. The Sloop John B. is a folk song from the Bahamas, apparently. And it was also recorded by the Beach Boys. So it's been done.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
Now, this album, the quality, I said not much bass and it's very flat.
Yeah. Did you want to mention the producer first?
The producer is Snuff Garrett.
Snuff Garrett, yeah. And
he's a disc jockey from Lubbock, Texas, who became a staff producer at Liberty Records, which is the record company that recorded this album.
So produced by, and it was arranged by Leon Russell.
That I didn't write down and I didn't know.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Leon Russell right there, arranger. I think he actually had a part in some of the songs, too. Yeah. Also those ones that are arranged. So anyway, and arranged by Leon Russell. So since you didn't get any of that...
Oh, I did, actually. Leon Russell here.
Okay.
Arranger and helped write many of the songs. He also played keyboards in the original band.
Okay, wow.
Can you imagine Leon Russell with that
being in that
dinky little pop 60s
bullshit band? Yeah, it'd be so weird, considering where he went from there.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, to what you were talking about with the quality, yeah, I mean, it's an older album. I mean, it doesn't have any really there's no pops or scratches or hissing or anything like that. The vinyl's in pretty decent condition considering the age, but I'm with you on the mix. It's flat as fuck. But I mean, it could be because it's age, it could be just that's the way they did it. But yeah, it's flat. It doesn't... sounds like a recording from this... I wouldn't say it's cheap recording, it just sounds like a recording from the 60s. It sounds like a pop album from the 60s. I
just wanted to say, too, is that Gary Lewis, back in the old days when...
That guy there.
What was the name of that record company that used to send out records to people for 99 cents? Columbia House.
Columbia House. I say Columbia River.
So back in the day of Columbia House, Gary Lewis and the Playboys was not this particular album. I think it was the one before this, with This Diamond Ring on it. Was one of the very first albums that I bought as a kid.
Columbia House.
Through Columbia House, my dad let us go crazy and order some stuff. So yeah.
And for me,
so I was a fan of this band back in the day.
Well, obviously, yeah, and I'm sure that they put out better albums than this. This is like just almost like a compilation more than anything.
Yeah, with all the covers on there, yeah, for sure.
As far as I can tell, it's print, so 67, album art, well, for whatever. I'm gonna get into the whole thing here.
Okay.
So, print it's from 67. It's actually from the U.S. It's a U.S. pressing, and it's original, as far as I can tell, and everything that I've looked up. It's got some wear and tear on the edges there.
Some.
Considering it's from 1967, I wasn't born in 67. I have a lot more wear and tear on my edges.
But you don't have any condom marks.
Album art, yeah. Well, so the album art here, I mean, it's pretty basic. There's your song list, which actually isn't even in particular order. It's not even in the right order, I don't think. No, it's not. So your song list is not in the right order, but I mean, I don't know, it's just a picture of the dude.
Well, then what's with those watercolors down there?
Well, because it's about painting me a picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dopey me. Derp.
I mean, I kind of like the frilly red and black, but everything else about it's just like, we've seen worse. But But it's just, it's boring. A lot of effort.
It's very run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, it's not a lot's been put into that one. Okay, so the vinyl is in great condition. The inside cover is actually in decent condition. There's no water hits or anything like that.
It looks like a bunch of advertising for other albums.
For other albums from Liberty.
On their label.
On their label, yeah.
Their label.
A lot of how to play guitars, a lot of Spanish guitar.
Yeah, because two of the other bands that they produced as well, or that they actually recorded,
This Diamond Ring,
were Bobby V and Del Shannon.
Yeah, well,
they were signed to the Liberty album record
that makes sense.
Label.
So how about you, price?
I don't have it written down. Cheap, I would imagine.
Okay, well, whatever the price appears here at the bottom is the price that it was. Wow.
Thank you, baby. Technology saves my butt again.
Wow, that price. Who would have thought that it was going to be that cost, lowest. So rating, I guess. We're down to rating already. We're plowing through this. Rating for me, yeah, it's like dumpster, but
yeah,
it's dumpster, but I don't have the hate that I would from some of the other albums.
yeah, and I agree with you there too.
So for me, it would be. It's not even for me. It's not even a collection. I'd probably just try and sell it to somebody for something.
Well, and the thing is that with this one, I would probably, if I wanted to listen to any of these songs by Gary Lewis and the Playboy, I would get Spotify on. Well, it's not one of those albums that you need to experience on the turntable.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is not a.
So
this is a jump around single.
I'm kind of torn, like you said, between dumpster and back in the record collection for under the crawl space.
Yeah.
For
in the crawl space.
Another 20 years when somebody else pulls it out.
If you're done and I'm done.
Yeah.
So, Gary Lewis and the Playboys down.
But Okay, the next one is the Little River Band, First Under the Wire. Little River Band is an Australian band originally formed in Melbourne in 1975. They achieved success in America. First Under the Wire was their 5th album, released in 1979.
Oh, wow.
It peaked at number 2 on the Australian record charts and had 2 Billboard Hot 100 hits.
Let me guess, those hits were Lonesome Loser?
Yes.
And Hard Life?
No.
Oh, what? Hard Life's a good song. Okay.
Cool change.
Huh. Okay, well, there you go.
I was going to sing it, but don't want to infringe on those
copyrights. Well, maybe that's the way we can get around it. You can just sing it. Get a keyboard out. And like.
The songs on this album are Lonesome Loser, The Rumor.
So we're kind of breaking down the songs as we go. So Lonesome Loser, you've more than likely heard it. If you've heard any sort of classic rock in the last 40 years, you've heard this song. And in fact, one of those is actually on, what's an episode without mentioning Grand Theft Auto soundtrack?
Have to put a little flashing thing down at the bottom there.
So yeah, anyways, you guys have heard of it. It's a decent poppy song. Okay, anyways, continue. The Rumor?
Yeah, I don't have anything written specifically about songs. My comments are more... My comments are more general, so go crazy.
Well, let's just keep listening to songs. If something interesting, I'll break in. Yeah, The Rumor, okay.
By My Side. Cool Change.
Which was that other hit, which I honestly I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah. It's Not a Wonder.
Okay.
Hard Life, Prelude.
Side 2 there.
Hard Life. Oh, Hard Life, Prelude, and Hard Life. Middleman. Man on the Run, and Mistress of Mine. Now, none of those songs on side B I have ever heard of in my life.
Hard Life? You know Hard Life. Okay, so let's see here what I got. Rock, country, pop kind of mix. I got there's some sax with so I have like a little frowny face in my notes because I fucking
Doug loves sax.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
Sax on the Beach.
Yeah, Lonesome Loser. Familiar, Cool Change. I even have written on here. I didn't see Familiar at all.
That really surprises me because it got a lot of radio play.
Second side had some longer songs. Hard Life, which is also more.
Back in the days before you were born. That's why you haven't heard it.
Okay. So Hard Life is kind of more of a rock prog song. It's a little bit longer. I think it was like 5-6 minutes long, which is a little bit longer than some of their other ones. Oh yeah, I have Hard Life as the best Little River Band song that you have never heard of.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know how much other Little River Band songs I've heard, but that one's
obviously
pretty
Lonesome
good.
Loser.
Yeah. I have Second Side is Better. Probably just because it was a little more rock. Like I said, rock prog as opposed to softer country rock bullshit. Let's see here, I'm going through my notes. Anything you want to add? Susan?
Well, I just have that the songs were written by the band either individually or collectively. Yeah. The songs are much longer in the 70s than they were in the 60s.
Yeah, no doubt, yeah.
The album sounds full and well mixed.
Yeah, yes, okay, yeah, I agree with you. Also, besides the sound, the vinyl is also in good, really excellent condition, like mint, no scratches, no pops.
Cool Change is my favorite song on the album.
Oh, there you go.
I said, it really sparks. Oh, it really speaks to me. There's my writing again. It sparks to me. And I will write more to that specific song. But I didn't.
But you didn't?
No.
Okay. Who was producer?
John Boylan, who did the Pure Prairie League, which is another band I really love.
And that'll be coming up eventually.
Boston, the Charlie Daniels Band, and Little River Band.
Oh, okay. So it's got a sound. Okay. Outside is actually it's one of those ones we got from the extra set from the.
Oh, from the landlord box.
Yeah, landlord, and like this one's actually really good. Like all the way around, it's in good condition. It's original run, as far as I can tell, Canadian pressing, and it's in fantastic condition. But here's the price again. Oh wow! Can you believe that price again for this? What?
Thank you, baby.
Rating.
Meh. We should have a meh rating.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to rejigger some of our rating system for that reason, because there's we have it at kind of extreme.
Yeah.
It's not extreme. Like there's okay. If we should forget Spotify for a sec, but there's a couple songs in there that I was going through one day and I was just pulling out stacks of albums, and there's two songs on there at least that I would play, one from each side. So that's
right.
Like I said, Garbage seems extreme.
It's not an album that I'd go, oh damn, I want to listen to some Little River Band.
No, but if you're, and I hate to use this term because it's not really a deep cut, but if you're looking for some deep tracks, some stuff that you don't hear very often, like I said, I'd have a stack of records there. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, since we don't listen to radio anymore, in the
if we were just like sitting, like we used to do with satellite radio, and just like listen to the specific shows he used to do with the deep tracks. And,
yeah.
Like I said, if there's just the stack of vinyl on the floor, that might be one of them to listen to a couple of bands. So it's just like you're just turning songs in and out.
So we would prefer Little River Band Greatest Hits album.
For a lot of these bands, it'd probably be the way to go. Yeah. Just get it all done in one shot so you don't have to screw around. But, so for my actual rating then, crawl space.
Back to the crawl space for me.
Crawl space, yeah. Little River Band, first, Under the Wire, down. Okay, for the final album of today is... Gary Wright, The Light of Smiles. That was a smile. Oh, you know how you humans smile. Whatever.
Yeah, humans.
Okay, give us a rundown. Give us an intro.
Okay, Gary Wright is an American singer-songwriter. For 7 years, he was with the UK band Spooky Tooth, which I didn't know. His two biggest hits came in 1976 with Dreamweaver and Love Is Alive, which... I saw him on the tour with Peter Frampton when he toured for that album.
Sorry.
The Light of Smiles was his fourth album and the follow-up to Dreamweaver in 1977. He went on to do many more albums, but never matched his success from 1976. Okay, so the songs are...
Side one.
Yeah. Water Sign, Time Machine, I Am the Sky, Who Am I? Silent Fury, Phantom Rider, The Light of Smiles, I'm All Right, Empty Inside, Are You Weepin', and Child of Light.
Now, for you, so what songs for you?
For me, I can't name songs specifically, but just general overall impression of this album is I really dug it.
Oh.
It was a very spiritual journey for Gary Wright to do this album, and a lot of this album has to do with spirituality and the universe, and not religion, but existential things. And so that's why I really liked it. The lyrics reflect Wright's preoccupation with spirituality. And the album kind of reminded me of a rock opera. And they kind of flowed from one to the other. And
it was more about, like, I mean, sure there was individual sides, but it was more thematic, like, overall. So
according to like Wikipedia, the album was moderately successful and received favorable reviews from critics. It peaked at 23 on the Billboard chart And Phantom Rider was the most successful song on the album. It went to 43 on the top 100. So I know you have very different feelings about this album.
I do. Yeah. That's why I'm talking to you about it first. So, yeah, you probably owned this one before. And
no, I didn't. It's the first time I'd heard it.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that I've talked about. Obviously, it's like if people are wondering. I mean, if you don't know Gary Wright for whatever reason, it's like electronic pop rock kind of feel. It's not hard at all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know Dreamweaver, really, that's you know the fucking album.
Yeah.
I have even one of my things that even sounds like you think. Audio quality was good. That worked out really well. Like it actually had some bass. It was properly mastered that way. I thought it was. I actually had made a comment about there. No pops and scratches. Like the vinyl's in mint. The sleeve is in almost mint. But here's my problem with it. It's B-sides. It's cast off from Dreamweaver. To me, that's what it feels like. It just feels like he had all this shit left over. Like, you know when Mastodon made Crack the Sky and then everything else after kind of sucked?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It just feels like I have all this leftover stuff that I just want to put out there that he's attached to that really, whatever.
Now, see, from my perspective, I think that he had this big album. The record company said, go ahead and make another one.
The concept album, for sure, yeah.
And he went on a spiritual journey.
I know. Those
thinking that people were going to really, really like it.
I think he blew his wad on the first one, and then this was just like... I agree with you. He continued on with it, but it wasn't as impactful.
Oh no. Like I said, it was favorably reviewed.
Oh, for sure.
But he never matched the success of Dreamweaver.
I'm going to shout out to that fucking movie, Wayne's World, for using that. So
right.
yeah, it's like half of the reason I even know that song is because of Wayne's World. But so this is all good and stuff. Did you have the price?
No, I didn't, but talk about the album art.
Oh, album art, yes. Okay, so because I got the quality down, and it was produced by Gary Wright. I don't know if we mentioned that or not.
And David Foster strikes again.
Oh, fuck, of course. David Foster was the worst thing to happen to the 80s.
He played piano on some of the songs.
At least it's colorful. It's got some light. I mean, it's still him, but it's a cartoon version of him in the cartoon jungle there, or got some.
That's his spiritual.
His spiritual.
Baby.
Well, that's more about what this backside is about, actually. Here with all the.
Yeah, this is actually a nice, a very nice piece of art.
And this, yeah. So like you said, it's not religious. It's just. So I don't mind the colors and stuff. I mean, at least he's trying to do something different. It's still.
Maybe he was high on acid when he wrote this album. Who knows?
Hope so. So anyway, so yeah, like I said, I don't mind that cover as much as some of the other stuff. At least his color, but it's still just like someone just drew, or it's painting of him essentially. So and he's got his name twice, in case we didn't figure out what that meant.
Oh well, probably because it's so.
So I was going to show you guys.
The writing is
stylized.
Stylized, yeah.
It's just like Gary Wright. Gary Wright.
For those people who could put it together.
Yeah.
Who were on acid when they bought the album. I don't know.
You and your acid. Okay, so rating.
I would listen to it again. I would put it in the collection and listen to it again.
Okay. Dumpster.
Dumpster
for me. I have there's nothing to go back to in this album for me.
Yeah, so I say collection worthy.
You collection? Okay.
Yeah.
Dumpster for me. All right, Gary Wright and his mediocre album Down. Took us a bit of time to get this one done. Just been busy, and we've had two sitting here for about a month now. 2 whole episodes to shoot. So
yeah, to the point where we actually had to go back and kind of re-listen to some of the albums.
But so all right. We've talked about, we still haven't got around to the other part too. We were talking about doing movie reviews and gaming reviews. We just haven't got there. We haven't even had time to do this.
And Netflix and Prime Video.
Just media stuff. So
yeah.
So all right, there we go. Episode 12 down, and I guess we'll see you next time.
So hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we post.
Yeah, subscribe.
We're gonna try and keep these rolling a little bit faster. I know we said that last time.
Yeah, you said that last time. There was like a month and a half gap.
I promise, baby. I promise I'll be better.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys later.